Richard Moore in Langhorne. Newer. We've done work for him in the past, and I think he signed up for mowing. Note to myself, make sure he's all set up. I think he is. So I'm starting in the backyard. Access, you have a gate over here, gate over here. Probably try to utilize this gate more. You'll want it anyway because of mulch beds, but let's minimize going over his patio here with the mulch. So starting back here, so obviously fresh edge everywhere. Cut a nice edge for him. It's not bad or anything, but just reestablish it. In this area, there's a little bit of moss. So let's make sure that we dig all that out and get rid of it. While we're doing the mulch, let's do kind of like a general cleanup of like the sticks and leaves and debris. Set us up for the mowing as well. Time frame, he said late March. Over these rocks, let's just blow it out, kind of blow the debris. You don't really need to do anything special here. Mulch here, edge it. Pretty straightforward. The only thing outside the normal is don't need to do any trimming back here. He didn't mention anything. A little bit of trimming and stuff in the front, which I'll talk about and go through. But the other special thing that we'll want to do back here is in a couple of the spots. This fence is kind of newer, he said, and like there's like gaps underneath the fence here and here and a couple here. So he asked if we can bring in some topsoil, just kind of like pack the topsoil. I would use like maybe the stamper, kind of like your foot even, pack the dirt in, because he said his dogs go and they like start digging under there. So we don't just want to put mulch there because that'll just move real easily. He wants to put some topsoil in that spot, kind of pack it down, and then, you know, sprinkle a little bit of mulch on top, but just to kind of close that gap. So blow these beds out, rake them out real good, cut a nice edge for them all here, fresh mulch. This guy you could cut back a little bit. There's a good amount of leaves and debris back here to clean up, edge it, mulch it. Same thing with the moss here. Let's kind of dig that out, rake all this out, all these leaves. Probably could lightly prune this guy, lightly prune and shape these. Again, any sticks or debris and such, let's get rid of them. Mulch up all this, clean this up. You can lightly prune this guy. You know, kind of bed cleanup in here. Got a couple like onion weeds in here. Try to yank those, don't just cut them with a trimmer. Try to get the root over here to another spot for some topsoil. Probably just need a couple bags of topsoil, or if you wanted to get like a wheelbarrow's worth, would probably do it. Move into the front yard, mulch up this, mulch this area. So you could rake this a little bit, but he said don't worry about the mulch running underneath these green giants here. Just want fresh mulch in this spot. This one bed is his, that's the neighbor, so just worry about this one. You know, fresh edge. I would hit it with string trimmer for ivy cleanup. Maybe cut out those grasses. A little bit of mulch, got to cover some of the tarping there as well. And then up here, we'll trim this guy off a little bit. All these type of plants, let's just cut them back dramatically. Cut these guys out. Cut all these back, lightly prune and shape that, lightly prune that up. Let's, you know, kind of cut some of that ivy that's grown off the siding. Take a string trimmer and clean up the ivy trimming here. He did make a note, obviously we know this, but just a reminder, don't pile the mulch along the house. He did specifically mention that, so make sure we don't throw that mulch up against the house. This whole area I would try to cut out a little bit. Use extreme caution with the string trimmer, obviously, with the siding there. Cut those plants back, lightly prune and shape that. Cut all these back, mulch it. This whole area needs a nice, good, fresh cut edge. Loops all the way around. You can cut all this down and out. The juniper, want to kind of shrink it. So probably string trimmer is the best bet. But just kind of like basically shrink the whole spot. If you can, try to cut to kind of separate from that plant. You'll see in the front too, if you can shrink it down, kind of create some separation from these plants. Cut this guy down, cut all this down and out. You know, like I said, edge this, mulch it. Here, like I said, juniper, just like a string trimmer, maybe cut 4 or 5 inches off of the edges here to kind of shrink it down. Same thing here. Juniper's kind of creeping into the other shrubs here, so let's try to shrink all that down, cut it back. Need a good bit of mulch in here. Got some fabric showing. Clean up all these beds, droppings, things of that sort. mulch it on here. Edge it, mulch it. These look pretty good from a insurance standpoint, but you might be able to touch them up depending on how they look come later in the in March. This guy, he also mentioned too, his other companies he used piled the mulch on his AC unit, so avoid doing that. Clean up all the beds here of leaves, debris, maybe a little bit of light pruning possibly, but nothing crazy. And that's it.